enemies. Lucky for you, we are hitting back and biceps today. Lucky for you, because you get to see my sick fucking biceps, dude. Always start with some sort of cardio, whether that's rollerblading, longboarding, walking, jumping around, dancing, something to get my heart rate up. And then I stretch, which I did not film. I usually just foam roll, and then just some light band work and a couple of the exercises you saw me do in the warm-up. Starting off with pull-ups, I actually fucking hate pull-ups, but I think they're such a good movement. I think everybody should know them. I think everyone should be able to do one. I think in a high-stakes situation, pull-ups are a really good skill to have. 1 set of 8 is a challenge for me for sure, so 2 sets of 8 is going to be a good time. Alright, that felt okay. 2 sets of 8. Barely got that last one. I had to kick with my legs a little bit. So we're going to move on to a little bit of it's like a static hold variation or hanging transitions. You'll see. It's really just to get better with grip strength, hanging strength, and making quick alternations. So yeah, a couple of those. Next, we are actually gonna take a little break from back and do some abs. I try to incorporate abs into every single workout. I really wanna have abs of steel and a lower back of steel. Don't forget, your core wraps all the way around. So any stabilization movement you do, you're also going to be strengthening front and back. So I got these cool little ankle attachments for the pull-up bar so I can actually hang upside down now and do reverse sit-ups, or I guess upside down sit-ups. That wouldn't be really reverse sit-ups. So I'm gonna do 3 sets of that, and then we're gonna go back to back. I got these yesterday and I used them yesterday and I freaking love them. I'm gonna use the shit out of them, dude. I'll actually put the link below. They were $35 on Amazon and they're pretty freaking dynamite, dude. They're super comfortable, so. And I haven't fallen off yet. Win-win. Really the only issue with these is making sure I don't go to failure, because if I'm not able to do one last crunch all the way up and pull the pull-up bar or grab the pull-up bar, I'm done, dude. We gotta play safe. Especially since I'm in between insurance right now. We're just gonna forget about that. Do a little crunch up. Ooh, a little sore from yesterday. Gonna do 2 more sets just like that. Next, I'm hitting an inverted row, still body weight. So I'm gonna hold on over there, put my feet up on the bench over here, and row. We're just gonna do a pronated grip. Supinated is super uncomfortable. Eventually, I would like to grab my little handles and put them on my barbell to do these, but I'm lazy. And remember, we aren't doing anything that I don't want to do. Ultimately, we're just going to do 2 sets of however many I feel like I can rep out right now. Oh, fuck. That's actually felt really good. I don't think I've ever been able to do 12 in a row like that. So we're going to do 1 more set of 12 and then move on to some bicep curl. 2 sets of 10 dumbbell curl at whatever weight this is. 20 pounds, give or take. It's in kilos and they're little 1-inch sand plate. They're just pieces of shit. Roughly 20 pounds. Dude, it is getting hot in Arizona, brother. Last thing I'm gonna do after this, some rollerblade sprints. I pretty much just like warm up with a mile around the block and then I just go back and forth every 2 minutes for like 5 rounds. One last set of DB curls and then we are off. Time to rollerblade. I'm gonna play the exact song I'm listening to, and I'm gonna do my best not to completely fucking eat it while holding my camera. Let's do this. Number 1. Faster makes us stronger than ever. After our work is never over. Work it harder, make it better. Do it faster makes us stronger than ever. Hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better. Do it faster makes us stronger than ever. Never over. I did a video, I think like a month ago, maybe 5 weeks ago or something. Hey buddy. I was having a really hard time eating. I still struggle here and there with like big portions. I'm still struggling with certain foods like meat, where I was getting like 150 grams of protein. I'm lucky to get between like 110 and like maybe 130, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing because I'm back to eating enough. But ultimately, nutrition is probably the most inconsistent it's ever been in my life. It's actually really helpful that I'm not focusing so much on making sure that I'm getting exact macros and I'm really just eating what feels good and kind of intuitive eating for the first time. Training. Definitely a little bit different than it used to be. When I was doing CrossFit, I was probably doing at least 3 times the volume that I'm doing now. I was beating the living shit out of myself 6 months ago. The battery on that camera must be fried. So here we are with my new microphone, and I guess we are now testing out my new microphone today. To wrap that up, I was essentially just putting so much time and effort into a sport I didn't really want a career or future in. I'm not doing anything that I don't want to do in my program. I do have a background in program design. I'm super knowledgeable in how to progress myself. So even though I'm not really following a program that's progressional, I know how my body feels and I am progressing in my movements that I'm focusing on. I'm doing super low volume and like high effort sets. So 2, maybe 3 sets max, sometimes even just 1 full effort set. I keep saying full effort, but I really mean like 8 to 9 RPE. I very rarely max out, especially when I'm working out in the garage by myself. I'm currently not really doing any heavy weights, and I don't think I really have any plan to. I'd like to maintain a certain weight throughout a few lifts. I think I hit all that in CrossFit, and I got super fucking strong, and that was super cool, but now I'm not doing CrossFit anymore, so I didn't really want to continue. The main focus is calisthenics, so each day of the week has one exercise that is going to focus on calisthenics. And really the only point I want to touch on with training is like, dude, fitness literally will never matter if you're not enjoying it. And I don't want to say like I never enjoyed CrossFit. I absolutely love it. There's every possibility I'll do it again. I just tend to overdo things. And as I said, so many things played a role in how involved I got. I am losing brute strength that I felt like I put a lot of effort into, and I am probably losing muscle mass. I'm probably losing endurance because, as I said, I've cut my training completely. But even though I'm doing less, I feel 10 times better. If you asked me like 3 years ago what I wanted to be super fucking buff. I wanted people to think that I was on steroids without actually being on steroids. I wanted to be fucking huge. And then about a year ago, I realized that I actually don't want to be fucking huge. I would just want to be like lean. And I think because I was attracted to that, I was like, oh, that's what I want to look like. I really just want my physique to be lean, have a big butt, and feel good. Let's talk about work next. As I said, I stopped doing CrossFit. I worked at that CrossFit gym for I think a little over a year. So I'm no longer in-person coaching, which was a huge change in my schedule. With the extra time that I have now that I'm not in-person coaching, I really just wanted to devote all of my time to making YouTube videos and just content in general, but I just wanted to get one out a week, and that is the promise that I kept to myself, and that's what I'm doing. I've literally wanted to do 1 video a week for years, and so being able to kind of follow through with this has been super fun and rewarding. And actually, I've been enjoying editing more than I've been enjoying like actually filming the YouTube videos. And then I also wanted to talk about my relationship with Justin. There have been many people I have dated who I've romanticized on my social media, only to find that I wasn't vibing and wasn't jiving. Most of those people moved in and moved out of my life pretty quickly. And as much as I hate to think back about all the things I was in denial about, I'm really glad that I posted those things for the world to see, because now I can sit here and correct them and be like, hey, that was me totally over romanticizing a person because I just wanted somebody to love me and I wanted to feel accepted and feel all those human things that we all want to feel. So I feel like I've kept mine and Justin's relationship a little bit more on the down low. I like to think of myself as a very loving and kind and open person, and if you are respectful to me, I will be respectful to you. But there are not a lot of people that I feel like I have a real connection with sometimes. And I think maybe we all feel like that. But like Justin's that fucking guy, dude. About like 2 months ago, we went through a really, really rough patch. Honestly, this whole year has been a rough patch. Everything that I catch, I'll take accountability for it. So much so that it's easy for me now, but I will never pretend swallowing pride for the very first time, the very first 10 times, and admitting defeat, admitting that you're wrong. I will never, ever, ever pretend that that is an easy thing to do. But to be in a relationship where two people understand that and actually like display and practice those behaviors, I'm pretty sure that's my fucking guy forever, dude. Anytime I say something that sounds like super fucking off the charts, it's probably because I'm making fun of somebody that would say that. And I know that's so confusing, especially online when you can't hear my tone of voice and my sarcasm. But that is my sense of humor, and that is our sense of humor, and that is how our relationship works. He's my little princess, and I love him so much. Little Pookie Wookie. Just kidding, fucking you. I don't even call him babe. If you call your partner babe, I'm totally making fun of you. Over the last year, I've lost a few people that were like the closest people to me. The main issue and the umbrella theme with these relationships that I had was my codependency and blindness to their behaviors because of how much I loved them and how much I wanted them to love me, where I will over-romanticize my place in somebody's life and think that we have such a tight bond and they feel the same way that I feel about them, about me, while I'm watching them treat others poorly, but telling myself that they would never treat me that way because we're too tight and they love me more than they love the people that they're treating poorly, so they would never treat me that way. I've heard time and time and time again that how you do one thing is how you do everything. So how you treat one friendship is how you are going to treat all of your friendships. I was so cocky and confident because I was a really inconsistent person when I had first met them, and I continued to be a super inconsistent person. Through my step study, through my recovery, I started changing and I started setting all these boundaries and calling people out and just putting up with less. And so I think in this whole whirlwind of me changing and seeing behaviors for what they really were, I was already halfway out the door, and it just took a few things to really make that a definite disconnect. And after all that heartbreak, anxiety, none of it matters because I'm in so much better of a mental state than I was a few months ago. And that has literally nothing to do with good or bad or right or wrong. That's literally just where I need to be. All right, and I think that's gonna wrap it up, dude. I totally fucking yapped like I knew I would. I hope all of that made sense. I hope you got something out of it. Thank you for being a part of my life, letting me share these things that I think are so important to this world. And whether you absolutely love everything about me and relate to so many of the things I say, or whether you fucking hate me and you're just here to watch me do the next dumb thing, I hope that if nothing else, you know that I respect the hell out of you, even if your life does not apply to mine, does not agree with mine, or does not cross mine. Love you. Bye. When I say that I'm doing whatever feels good right now, this is what I mean. I honestly can't explain that one. Sounded good, sounded fun. It was on sale on Amazon. I couldn't say no.